Now, as we enter a new phase in the fight against the coronavirus, we are again faced with uncertainty. That's because the CEO of Pfizer, the company behind the vaccine about to be rolled out in the United Kingdom next week, admits that they don't know whether those with the jab can still transmit COVID-19 to others in an interview to NBC.
Even though I've had the protection, am I still able to transmit it to other people?
I think this is something that needs to be examined. We are not certain about that right now.
OK, let's get more on this now from Shadia Edwards-Dashty, who joins us from London. Good afternoon, Shadia. Today's statement, then, from the CEO, I suppose, just adds to the recent uncertainty about this jab.
Well, put it this way, 2 days ago it was the news we were all waiting for. It was described as a historic moment, but now it seems like it's historic for all the wrong reasons. The approval, of course, of the COVID-19 vaccination just a few days ago by the British medical regulator meant that as soon as next week the vaccine could be rolled out. But now it's been proved almost too good to be true. Of course, the United Kingdom was celebrating being world-beating, world-leading, and now it seems as though it potentially is just a guinea pig in the science of all of it. And that's because Pfizer has come out to admit that actually, while the jab might be 95% effective against COVID-19, there is by no means any guarantee that it can prevent carrying and the transmission of COVID-19 as well. Now, interestingly, the EU regulator and the US top health officials have both come out to say that the UK has entirely jumped the gun here. It's been far too quick in its procedures because for their reasonings, they think that a longer approval process is necessary to ensure safety and effectivity.
They kind of ran around the corner of the marathon because they really rushed through that approval.
Well, regardless, 40 million doses of the vaccination have been pre-ordered by the United Kingdom. The first supply, the first batch, is headed to the United Kingdom, set to be rolled out throughout the rest of the country. Could be available as soon as next week, meaning immunisation could be as early as the next few weeks. Top of the list of course, the most vulnerable in society, people over 80, plus care home residents and staff, and then, of course, those on the front line in the NHS. However, there are some concerns, and many people have cast their doubts, even here within the United Kingdom. Some say there'll be a huge lag to all of this, and next week is very soon, just around the corner. Plus, there's logistical fears as well in terms of the distribution of the vaccine, because this vaccination needs to be stored in minus 70 degrees, and therefore those handling it say they need a lot more instructions on how to do so. But then there's the political narrative in all of this. Many people have long criticised the government, allegedly arguing that there's been government failures in dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, and they say that this is just more talk rather than action, and it's only been exacerbated today by cabinet ministers who are ramping up this rhetoric.
Well, I just reckon we've got the very best people in this country, and we've obviously got the best medical regulators, much better than the French have, much better than the Belgians have, much better than the Americans have. That doesn't surprise me at all, because we're a much better country than every single one of them.
Using Williamson's own criteria, the number of deaths in the UK must prove that we're a much worse country than France and Belgium, not the US, obviously. What a facile boast. That sort of thing you hear in a playground, not from an MP on national radio.
World-beating jingoism.
Brits got it first because of how badly they're doing in controlling COVID-19, so exactly the opposite of what they're claiming.
So there, Gavin Williamson saying that the United Kingdom is world-leading and is a much better nation than any other. But at what is the question the public really have?
OK, thank you, Shadia. That was Shadia Edwards-Dashty reporting there from London.